Welcome to a Disney A special presentation.
Ooh.
Yes, that's what wolves sound like. we're your hosts. I'm Brandon,
And I'm Krysta. Not actually Wolf.
you can sing the werewolf song. Well, you didn't see that movie.
No. There's a werewolf song?
Yeah, they go oh we oh oh we oh oh we own that night. Oh. Okay, that's enough of that. If you want more, go watch the Zombies trilogy. But that's not what we're talking about today.
We're already starting out strong. I'm already almost crying. I'm laughing so hard at you. You didn't see Brandon was dancing to the We Own the Night song.
That song's been stuck in my head for like 3 days.
Has it really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that explains your mood.
It's a something. Yeah. Anyway, no, we're gonna be talking about a different type of werewolf that's on Disney Plus.
Is it scarier?
A little bit scarier, yeah.
Kinda?
A lot. Well, like in a different way.
Oh, okay. All right. That's right. This is our very first special presentation. It's not coming out on a regular Monday. We're doing our own thing, just looking at Werewolf by Night. Special presentation for a special MCU offering.
Yeah, if Kevin Feige can do it, we can do it.
That's right.
Not really, no, but...
He's a different level.
He's pretty good at his job.
Yes, fair enough.
Anyway, yeah, we're going to talk about Werewolf by Night.
Yes, that's not a Werewolves of London.
No. I mean, they might have been in London.
Not this one, though. Well, maybe, yeah, that's true. Okay, Brandon, we are doing this totally different. Our regular episodes, we have news, we have updates, but nope, Werewolf by Night.
Yeah, just focused on the program.
Because it's spooky season.
It is spooky season, and spooky season's wrapping up far too quickly. I have not had enough spooky stuff in my life, but this has been the high water mark for me.
You know what? I very much agree. This is the epitome of spooky season right now.
So we're in agreement. Overall impressions of this,
fantastic.
Very, very positive.
Everyone I talk to, I tell them who I think might like it, I tell them to watch this movie. Well, I keep saying movie. This special.
Yeah, it's like a short movie.
Short movie or long episode.
Yeah, because it's about an hour,
yeah.
And it's really cool. I do think it might be a little off-putting for some people who are not like film nerds or
right
kind of into that whole thing, because it is a little different. So do you want to just talk about it a little bit?
I was gonna say before we get into like analyzing too much or anything like that, let's just give like a brief what's up. First of all, the trailer for this came out, and right away because I'm mostly like, hey, I like spooky season, I want to watch this show. The trailer came out and I was like, okay, I now have a new favorite thing I'm looking forward to, because it was insane.
Well, yeah, so it had been rumored for a long time. They kind of we're gonna also make this at some announcement, and then was not talked about again basically until the trailer came out.
Right.
And the trailer hit me like a ton of bricks, because it was like almost a perfect trailer.
It was, yeah, it was insane. And my other coworkers who like watching this stuff, but it was basically the water cooler talk of the next day after this dropped. Like, did you see Werewolf by Night trailer? Oh my god.
But yeah, it's a throwback to classic horror films. And
very like 1930s, 1950s ish, kind of that whole Creature of the Black Lagoon. And
your Vincent Price, your Bela Lugosi's,
that whole style,
all that good stuff.
It was like an homage to all of that. Basically, it was a great tone for this. The entire thing, well, almost the entire thing, is in black and white, and I think it's safe to say, if you haven't figured out now, spoilers ahead.
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's one episode, so just go watch it.
Just go watch it, and then come back.
And then come back,
yeah,
and then
we're cool.
Then we'll have a good time.
Yeah. So most of it's in black and white. This is okay. We open up and the setting is perfect. Even they do such a great job with lighting and music and everything like that. Okay, so let's just talk like overall story. What's going on here?
It's a perfect setup for a one-off story. It's a bunch of bounty hunters coming together for the funeral of the head monster hunter, bounty hunter.
Bloodstone.
Yes. Great name for a monster hunter.
Yes.
I think, yeah. And this is from the comics. Like they base everything in the MCU on like a specific comic run or something like that. So that's kind of cool.
Or at least largely inspired by
inspired. Like it's not like word for word or anything like that. Zack Snyder's Watchmen. But
you got a cough?
yeah,
it's a weird cough.
Little cough. Yeah. But yeah, so you meet all these different monster hunters, and you have this whole funeral scene, and it's a cool way to quickly introduce a bunch of characters.
Oh, we even got a Crypt Keeper knot in there.
Oh yes, definitely.
I'll be rotting for
Tales
you.
from the Crypt is a very I really enjoyed that as a kid because it was a little creepy.
Yeah.
But also funny, and yeah, there's definitely a nod to that. And they are going to be competing to be the head monster hunter.
Yeah, to inherit this mantle.
Because he had no heirs. Well, he had a daughter, we find out.
But she was such a disappointment.
She was a disappointment. But she arrives for the meet uninvited, and and it's upsetting to his Camilla Parker, new wife.
Oh yeah. You cough. You got that you gotta got that looked at.
Yeah, I should have a test or something. I could be infectious. Oh.
Okay. So yes, essentially that's the deal. Normally it would just naturally pass on, but she was such a disappointment, but she shows up to take it, and she says she will have the same chance as everyone else will.
Yeah. And we find out they're actually from a long line of these monster hunters, and they get their power from the Bloodstone.
Hence the name.
Right. I guess they just took on that name. Were they named that before?
Or they named it, I don't know.
And then they found the stone.
It's a chicken and egg situation.
Yeah,
here.
it is, right. So that's what it is, and they're going to find out who's the best monster hunter by doing anything. What else would you do but go hunt a monster?
That totally makes sense. And it's very maze, you get Minotaur almost vibes.
Oh yeah, there's definitely an MC Escher Labyrinth vibe to it, and that's cool. And there's also the best tuba player in the world.
Oh my god. Okay, talk about the tuba player. Might be the best part of this awesome show.
Yeah, so they kind of draw straws and figure out who's going to get to go into the monster arena first, and it's going to be a free for all. But they're all announced into the monster arena by a flaming tuba player,
which is apparently an actual person.
Yeah, this is this guy, and he has a flaming tuba. Apparently, he's a producer for The Simpsons or something.
And he goes to Burning Man.
Yeah,
with his flaming tuba.
Yeah, he's a big Burning Man person, and. Yeah, flaming tuba, as one does at Burning Man, I assume.
I mean, fair.
But I mean, it's really awesome way.
It's such a cool little what you just know that they were at some point. We got to use this guy from The Simpsons who plays the flaming tuba, and they were just waiting for an opportunity to put him in somewhere.
And it looks really cool in black and white. And,
yeah.
And but we haven't introduced our protagonist.
No, we have not. Okay, all right. So, who is our protagonist? Because there's a question.
Again, well, yeah, I mean, our titular hero, let's say.
Okay.
There's multiple protagonists. Mm-hmm. But the Werewolf by Night, spoiler, again, based on a comic and old school comic when they had really goofy names. Because his name's Jack Russell.
Yeah, he's a dog.
Yeah, okay. Anyway.
But not that a wolf is anything like a Jack Russell, but whatever.
and he's apparently a prolific monster hunter.
Who's also a werewolf by night.
Yeah. When there's a full moon.
There's a full moon. Or when he is near the Bloodstone.
Oh, now you've ruined the ending.
Oh no. Well, that's not the ending. That's the middle.
That's the big climax. Anyway.
Okay.
So yes, Jack Russell, he gets to go into the maze first.
Okay, with the flaming tuba player leading the way. With the flaming
tuba player, and we're exploring that with him. It's all very creepy.
Yes.
And suddenly he gets grabbed from behind
through the shrubbery.
Shrubbery.
Exactly. Monty Python little throwback there.
And it's a jump scare.
Yeah, it is.
It's
typical jump scare. Great jump scare.
But
there's a terrible monster.
Big ugly hand.
Yeah. Huge.
Giant thing of sorts.
Yeah, a thing of man, basically.
Yeah. But he's actually relieved because he was looking for his buddy Ted.
Yeah, Ted.
He's like, "Have you met Ted?"
Well, that's the name of the episode right there.
Yes, it is.
Well done. Did you do that on purpose?
Sure.
Pretend you did.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Definitely planned that.
Again, from the comics, everyone's excited. It's Man-Thing.
Ted.
His name's Ted. That's from the comics as well, actually.
I actually enjoy it because later he says his name is Ted, and she's like, "What?"
What? And Ted's this like hideous swamp creature looking thing.
Very Creature from the Black Lagoon.
But like even bigger and scarier. And he actually he's kind of like a natural. He might even come out as a mutant now that we're getting into the mutants thing.
True.
I don't know exactly how it works in the comics, but basically he's like a Cthulhu Lovecraftian monster where he feeds on your fear.
I was going to say he reminded me a lot of Cthulhu.
Yeah, and that's probably kind of where it came from. But yeah, he secretes a toxin when he senses fear, and that like melts you. And so that's
cool.
That's kind of his whole deal.
He said Ted is awesome. Okay.
And you got a bunch of these monster hunters hunting Ted. You got Jack trying to save him.
Yeah.
And you got the daughter of Bloodstone just trying to get her family's legacy away from her evil, wicked stepmother.
Yeah.
She's kind of like a Disney princess at this point.
She's definitely a Disney princess.
Oh, yeah.
So it's interesting because Jack Russell here needs to like pretend to be the monster hunter, but in the meantime he's trying to get Ted like safely out of the maze, and he's like, how can I make this work? But you also get the idea that like they go back and forth saving each other a lot. Like they definitely
they need a buddy cop movie to
there's a history there that like
some road trip or something.
Yes,
I don't know.
yes. That's what I want to see. That's exactly why I was bringing it up too. He's like, no, this was like the last time. Yeah. And it's like, I want to see the last time. Like, what the heck? Okay.
So they're awesome. We get some cool fight scenes with the bounty hunters, the monster hunters.
Because basically they're trying to take each other out on their way to getting
it's a free for all. Like your ultimate goal is to kill the monster to gain the prize, but if you take out your competition along the way,
exactly.
Heck, it's just like Mario Kart.
It's true. Banana peels abound.
Oh yeah. And we get some like hardcore action violence.
Yeah, there's some like pretty intense violence in this one. Yeah. But I think the intense violence only gets more graphic as we go on through the movie. Because we end up that the daughter and Jack, every time I hear Jack Russell, I'm just like, my God.
you wouldn't do that nowadays. That's why it's funny. It's just an old school comic book throwback.
Oh my goodness.
Just goofy names.
Oh yeah. Well, we get that they end up locked in like, is it like a mausoleum? Something like
it's a mausoleum.
Yeah, mausoleum.
Yeah, there's a bunch of
but it's her
people.
family, so she's like, they're talking to each other, and she's remembering like stories they would tell about the family. So she ends up getting them out of there, and she agrees because she doesn't have any interest in actually killing Ted. Like she just wants the legacy.
She wants the legacy. She wants to fix her family's legacy, kind of thing.
Yeah. So she needs the stone, and the stone. So she's like, okay, well, if you help me with that, I will help you free Ted, basically. Yep. So they team up.
Yeah, in uneasy alliance because they don't know if they can trust each other. But
right.
They clearly aren't intent on killing each other like all the other monster hunters. So I whatever. So they actually, well, Jack has some bombs that he stole.
Convenient.
Very convenient. And he blows a hole in the side of the maze, which apparently works really well because Ted escapes.
Yeah. Yay, Ted.
Yay, Ted.
And then what?
Well, what's her face? What's her name anyway?
I don't know. Evil Can we just call her Evil Oh, are you talking the protagonist?
The Bloodstone Jr. Well, I mean that's what it is. Elsa. Oh yeah. She's a Disney princess. Okay, yes, Elsa, the Disney princess. No, not that one.
Different Elsa, the Disney princess.
Much cooler one.
Actually, I don't know. There's more like blood and stone and less like the other one literally dealt with snow, so I think she was cooler.
Anyway, Elsa manages to pry off the Bloodstone off of Ted while he's escaping because they had embedded it into him so that you would claim it when you when you kill him, I guess. But she scorpions it right off of him. He's like, "Get over here."
Yep. I understood that reference.
Yeah. Nice. And it's laying on the ground, and Jack goes to pick it up, but he gets blown back because it has anti-monster powers, and that's how they discover that he is, in fact, a werewolf by night.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun.
and they realize that Elsa and Jack are working together. So the monster hunters that are still alive, including the wicked stepmother, put them both in a cage together.
Yes.
And he's like, "Oh, it's fine. The full moon's not till 4 days away, so we'll be fine. We'll just escape here."
And she's like, "Oh, you poor man."
Yeah, she's like, "You are dumb." And she knows that the Bloodstone can work mysterious magic on, and like none of this is really super explained. It's all just paranormal, and you just go with it.
Yeah, exactly. But suspension of disbelief.
The Bloodstone can turn a werewolf early.
Yeah, basically it amplifies and highlights the monster within you, I guess is the idea. So if it like helps bring out the monster so they can be more easily hunted.
Right. Even though Ted was not really a monster, he's just a nice guy that looks scary.
Yeah, well, that's the question is...
Who's the real monster? Yes. Yeah.
Well, or it's like Dr. Frankenstein. It's like...
Yes, thanks, Mary Shelley.
Yeah. It's like knowledge is knowing that Frankenstein was not the monster, but wisdom is knowing that Dr. Frankenstein was actually the monster.
Yes.
But not them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because exactly.
So anyway, they're trapped in a cage, and they make him turn into a werewolf, and we get a really cool werewolf transformation scene. This is the most important part of any werewolf movie.
Okay, what's the transformation scene?
Is transformation. You can't do it too cheesy, but you can't. I don't know.
It's hard not to make it cheesy.
It's a big thing.
So tell me how they did it in this one.
Well,
pretend I didn't see it.
They did it a really interesting way because they did it in like a no cut take, zoomed in on Elsa, with shadows playing over her, and it's just really well done. Apparently, it was all practical.
Oh my god, that's
they could have
crazy.
CGI'd it. No, they did it all practical.
And she's just her fear is getting worse and worse and worse.
Just an over the top, like old school black and white.
It's insane.
Actress reaction.
So good.
Just really good.
So right before when he realizes he's about to turn, she's locked in there in this cage, right? And he grabs her and like starts sniffing her, very dog-like. And even when he's like scratching at his ear, it's very dog-like.
He's got a little bit of dog mannerisms.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's really cool. And he says like he's hoping that if he smells her, he'll remember her and not attack her. So he's like, I'm really sorry. I'm not in control when this happens, but I'm gonna try really hard not to attack you. Basically,
I kind of like you. I'm not. Yeah. I don't want to eat you.
Yeah, basically, like you helped me. I'd like to not tear you apart. Literally.
And like he doesn't want to hurt anybody. Apparently, he locks himself in a room when he turns into a werewolf once a month. Yeah. Or twice a month in a blue moon.
Right. Okay, so crazy awesome transformation scene. I loved it. I thought this was so good.
Worked really well.
Especially in the black and white
and something kind of worked because he doesn't immediately tear her limb from limb. He actually escapes out of the cage.
Yeah, and you can kind of tell if you're watching and you know what to look for before he starts to turn, when he knows he's about to, he starts like looking up and it looks like he's looking for a means of escape, not like really anything else. And he was.
Well, they flash between all these like trophies from the monster hunters. They have a bunch of monsters hanging on the wall like you'd have deer heads or whatever. Right. And it looks like he's looking at those and you're like, oh, I'm going to be one of them.
Yeah.
But he's actually looking for places to hide.
Exactly.
Is the general gist of it, I guess. But he escapes the cage and massive action ensues.
This was intense.
Yeah, okay. It's like one of the best action scenes we've gotten in the MCU in a long time.
Yeah, actually, I think so.
Like visceral action scene. You got like lots of the big CGI stuff.
Yeah.
Outside of like maybe Shang-Chi on the bus.
Shang-Chi on the bus was really cool. I was like, there was a big action scene, of course, all the Spider-Men fighting and stuff, but that was not real. That was not practical.
Yeah, not visceral, and it was just fun.
Crazy CGI.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have liked this better than Shang-Chi on the bus, honestly.
Shang-Chi on the bus.
It was really good. Okay, anyway, keep going. So he's hiding.
And he's like bouncing around and he's like attacking people and
literally tearing them apart.
Elsa escapes and she's fighting some of the other monster hunters because they're trying to kill her because she helps monsters, so she's no good now.
Exactly.
And we get like some super violent kills going on. He's ripping people apart.
Literally.
We never really got an explanation why the guards in this monster hunter place look like TVA agents.
Yeah, they're not like wearing, they look like TVA agents, but their logos.
They have stun sticks.
Yeah, and their stuff doesn't say TVA, so it's like, do they just have the stun sticks, or is this a different, maybe this is, I don't know, maybe this is a different universe.
Is one of the Kang variants just really into old school monster
Could
movies?
be. Yeah, honestly, anything is possible,
Yeah.
I think there.
So whatever, but yeah, people are dying left and right. You got a bunch of henchmen.
You literally have blood squirting the camera, and it's just so cool.
And someone's head gets split in half by a sword.
Oh, it's true. It really does happen, yeah.
Like, it's not quite Game of Thrones level violence, but it's getting there.
It definitely, like, it's, I think, a 14A rating, and there was a lot saying for violence alone, it probably could have leaned towards 18.
I think the fact it was black and white helped them with
you know what? And it's
rating.
monster violence, not human on human violence, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was...
there were some humans, but because of the monster elements...
A human hit the other human with the sword in the head. It's just...
Yeah, but a lot of the violence is also supernatural violence. Had it all been human is what I'm saying.
Anyway, so they fight a bunch, and Jack kills a bunch of people.
Oh, yes, he does.
And Elsa kills a couple people.
Yep.
And she has a weapon, and she's like debating on whether or not to like put him down or not. And she
doesn't really want to, but
she
she's
doesn't
like,
really
well.
want to. She's like, well, okay. She's thinking about it, and she's like, no, okay, I'm gonna trust him. And she puts her weapon down, and he jumps on her.
Yeah.
But then you kind of like zoom in on his eyes, and he's like kind of recognize her. Yeah. He can smell her and stuff, and so they break that up. But the evil stepmother pulls out a shotgun.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah, just like literally just a shotgun.
Who was in the casket of dead daddy. And she's gonna shoot them, but Ted comes back to the rescue,
Ted!
And just melts her into it's like,
and she's screaming, and it's such a scene.
Nickelodeon slime, but like deadly.
Yeah, it's acidic slime.
It's a pretty cool death scene.
It is,
and
she's just like horror movie, like just screaming, hands up, and it's just melting all over the place, and so good. And the melting is interesting. It's almost Wicked Witch of the West melting.
A little bit, yeah.
Which is interesting.
Well, there is a lot of Wizard of Oz stuff going on in Phase 4, as we discover.
And into Phase 5 now, just saying. Because we have that trailers in Phase 5.
That's true. Yes.
Recently. How about just
basically
recently?
The multiverse saga is having a parallel to the Wizard of Oz.
A lot of nods going on. So she gets this screaming scene with her basically, and it reminded me of that, not necessarily like Wicked Witch of the West obviously was more just like melting, whereas this was much more graphic, but it was the way she was like screaming with her hands up and just like absolutely terrified. And she's such a witch. Like, come on here.
Anyway, that's awesome.
Yeah. So then
Elsa says, okay, you can go take Jack away.
She's like, he went that way to Man-Thing.
Yeah, because Jack's still a werewolf. He escapes, and Man-Thing goes off with him. And we cut to them. Well, actually, no, we don't cut to them because we wait until they're in color when we see them next.
Yeah, so after that, basically there was like the butler who was hanging around, and he comes out and he's like, I live to serve you, Elsa, basically.
She's got the bloodstone now. She's got the power.
And she's like, cool, clean this up. Basically all the blood and brains and gore and
cleaning.
stuff. And he looks around and is like, okay.
Hopefully he has like a maid service on speed dial.
Well, I think his thing was, I will clean it up if it means you're not killing me next, right? Because he was aligned with stepmother there for a bit.
Yeah, he's just a timid little butler dude.
Yeah, and then she sits down, has the bloodstone in her hands, and the bloodstone is cool because it's the only thing throughout this whole thing that's been in color. This is like a nod to all those other great black and white movies. Like, the obvious one is Schindler's List, right? When you have the red in anything, like the red girl's coat and so on.
There's been lots of things.
Yeah, exactly.
Do one little splash of color in black.
And this has been the bloodstone.
Black and white, including, like, say, WandaVision did.
Oh, yeah, the blinking red light on the toaster, or it's just been, it's red was in WandaVision too, was the color. So here you have the bloodstone's been in color. So she sits finally, like, completely exhausted, but also like, yay, I achieved my goal. And it's sitting there, and Somewhere Over the Rainbow starts playing. The the Judy Garland Somewhere Over the Rainbow here.
Oh, yeah.
Just the
It's like on a
haunting
gramophone
notes.
and everything.
Oh, yeah. Like, you hear the pops and crackles. It's fantastic. And she's looking at it, and she's kind of like sitting there, leaning back, exhausted. And the color spreads from the bloodstone. And we are now in color, and you can see the color moving throughout the scene. And then we switch to Jack and Ted.
Yeah, and they wake up in the forest, and they're like... Jack's like he's hungover because he was a werewolf all night.
Yeah. Ted hands him a cup of coffee.
Nice French press coffee. You know, waking up in the forest with a nice French press cup of coffee is it's actually a pretty nice way to go.
And Man Thing is just chilling with his coffee maker.
Just chilling.
It's great.
Yeah.
He's like, I made you some coffee.
Yeah. So I hope to see more of those two.
I love those
for sure.
Two. Yeah.
And I'm very curious to see how Elsa plays into something
She's
like
now set up.
Blade. There was some talk of having a Blade cameo in this originally.
I think I remember hearing that, yeah.
And the writer said, well, no, we want these characters to have like their own spotlight.
Yeah.
They don't need to be overshadowed.
So originally
by
I heard it was like a scheduling thing, but they said no. If Blade's showing up for a cameo, then it's a Blade cameo. The whole thing is a Blade cameo.
Which is kind of what I was worried about with Daredevil and She-Hulk, but they handled that pretty well.
But that was the series, not a
Yeah. So you have more time to do that. But so what do you feel about all this?
I loved it. Also, I wanted to mention, we've talked a lot about how cool this was shot and everything. First, this is the directorial debut, by the way. This director is Michael Giacchino. Is that how you say that?
I would
Giacchino?
say
Something
so.
like that?
Yeah.
So he's like a composer. He does music and stuff. He's won awards. He did Up. Oh, his big thing was Lost. But he did, and he's done Attractions and things like that. But an Oscar for Up, an Emmy for Lost, 3 Grammys, Ratatouille, Lost. He also was on video games, television. Anyway, he's done all that stuff, and he had never directed anything until this.
Around a lot of movies, and just clearly has an appreciation for film.
But it's almost like it's like an homage to movies, right? This specific style of movie, which lends itself so well to like a werewolf movie.
Yeah, no, just wonderful. I need to see more stylized stuff like this. I want to see like the Midnight Suns. We have Moon Knight now.
Yeah.
They set up Black Knight in the Eternals.
That's true.
Movie
The Eternals, the end of the Eternals.
with
there.
Jon Snow.
It's Jon Snow. Okay,
Jon
it does
Snow,
not matter what his name is.
He's got a big sword.
Yeah,
he knows nothing. Like he's Jon Snow. Okay?
Pretty sure. Yeah. Literally the same guy.
I want to see more of this. Like,
yeah,
awesome.
Well, the thing we keep mentioning about these series, like the full series, I mean, is that they have this room on Disney Plus where we're gonna do like a family Christmas special, and we're gonna do like a dark, almost horror thing with Moon Knight there, or we're gonna do like a family comedy, or we're gonna do a lawyer law show comedy, like a sitcom kind of thing. And they get to play with all these genres, and I mean, especially if you're doing a special like this, even more so. Like, they leaned into it and it worked so well. I really liked it.
I really like it. It gives me hope for the future of Disney Plus content. It seems like they want to do more of these special presentations. We have another one.
Yeah, we have another one
coming up next month. So
before you know, like right away here. Yeah. We have a Christmas one coming in the end of November.
And I think we'll do another little special presentation episode for that too.
I think so too. What did you think of the acting before we wrap up here?
It was good. It was good.
Do you know, did you recognize any of them?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. So I kind of was like, hey, what's that guy from? The guy who voiced, the guy who was Jack Russell, has done voice work for Disney before.
Okay.
He was in Coco.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Yeah.
And then he's been doing some other shows. But you know what my favorite thing is? He has set up foundations. He's Mexican with Diego Luna.
Oh.
They're buds. They work together. He's my new second favorite. I really like Diego Luna. Okay.
Diego Luna can cross over to the MCU anytime.
Anytime now. You know, a lot of characters have done it. I'm just saying. But yeah, basically the acting was, I thought, really good. They went for it for everything.
Yeah, no, they did like that.
And that's what you needed to do.
The reaction shot during the werewolf transformation scene by that actress was worth the price of admission alone.
Oh, yeah.
So
just that scene. Most of which they showed in the trailer, quite frankly.
It's over the top, but like in the best possible way. Like
it's over the top, but it's supposed to be for that genre and that story.
Yeah, no.
And that's what, if they're going to be super stylized like that, they need to go for it. And they went for it, and it 100% worked because they know what the hell they're doing when they trust their directors and actors and writers and everything else.
So big thumbs up on Werewolf by Night.
Literally one of my favorite offerings from Phase 4.
Ooh.
One of.
Yeah.
I have a lot of one-ups.
I mean, it's the most easily digestible
that.
because it's only an hour.
Well, that's true. But I'm talking like TV shows. It's not my favorite, WandaVision. But I'd say it's in my top 5.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of TV shows and stuff it's competing with now.
Yeah, and it's because it's not a series. It doesn't have any.
There's no room for errors.
Yeah. There's no room for errors, and there's no room for errors. So
that's true.
It stuck the landing, and it deserved it.
All right. Anything else to add?
No,
Oh. Hey, Brandon, now that Marvel has spooked us all, let's find out which Werewolf by Night character you are. And just so you know, these are all in black and white, all these questions, right? Okay.
I hope I'm the dead guy in the coffin that's rotting for you.
Rotting for you.
Yeah.
Okay. How would your monster hunting companions, your BFFs, describe you? Are you charismatic, cunning, adaptive, vicious, worrisome, or emotional?
I am cunning.
You are cunning. I was like, I should just answer this. Choose a hunter from Werewolf by Night to work with. Are you Joven? He's like crazy Scottish guy. Are you Azarel? I don't know how to say that.
Yeah, that.
Or
who invited Gozer the Gozerian to the monster hunting thing?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure
that's Gozer.
That androgynous monster hunter is Gozer, or David Bowie as Gozer.
He just wants to know who is a god.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really want to work with any of them because they're not really trustworthy.
Right.
I thought Joven had the coolest. He was
fun.
The funnest one. Not trustworthy at all.
No. And he flat out was like, I'm gonna try and kill you later.
Yeah.
But choose the monochrome image that speaks to you. Okay, so the first one is like trees. The second one we have lit candles. The third one's a cityscape. The fourth one is a close up of a rose. The fifth one is like a skull, and the sixth one is a pair of hands.
Interesting. Yeah, this is all like creepy imagery.
Very disconcerting, but it doesn't translate well to podcast.
No, it doesn't. I'm going to go with the candles.
Nice. Okay. Choose a classic Halloween monster. Vampire, zombie, goblin, ghost, skeleton, or werewolf.
Let's go with vampire. We're far enough away from Twilight that vampires can be cool again.
That's totally. I just read the what is it? The Sookie Stackhouse books?
And you started.
Yeah.
You got through one of them.
Yeah.
The Vampire Chronicles.
Vampire Chronicles. I'm still working on Lestat. I slowed way down on my reading because school started.
And there's a new series of the Interview with the Vampire. That's supposed to be really good.
Yeah, I've heard that. There's really good reviews about that. Mm-hmm. Choose a song that gives you spooky season vibes. Somebody's Watching Me. Little Dark Age. Thriller. This is Halloween. Dollhouse, or All the Good Girls Go to Hell. And I have the singers for all this if you want.
It's got to be Thriller. You can't go wrong with Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that's the second best one on that list. The Nightmare Before Christmas song is on that list. Come on.
Michael Jackson's better than
Today at school, just so you know, was Thriller Day, and they had a like a hunt for Michael Jackson images, and they played Thriller the entire morning as kids were coming in before the school started.
Just on a loop?
Yeah, but I mean, it's a really long song, so
it
is
a long song, yeah.
Choose a Marvel character to go trick-or-treating with. Tony Stark, Wanda Maximoff, Shuri, Loki, Peter Parker, or Shang-Chi.
I mean, I wouldn't mind going with trick-or-treating with all of them.
Yeah, I was like, they'd all be great.
Tony would just buy the candy and, like, just stay home and drink a martini.
That's true.
But no, I want to go trick-or-treating with Wanda. Because she has the best Halloween costume.
Yeah, her old one. No, actually, she's a Sokovian fortune teller.
Yeah, great Halloween costume. I'd be the Mexican wrestler.
Yeah, no problem.
No problem. I could do it.
What is your monster hunting weapon of choice? Battle axe, crossbow, sword, spear, hand-to-hand combat, or magic?
Oh, I'm gonna take magic, man.
You have magic available to you?
I was gonna say crossbow because like crossbows are pretty easy, but if I have magic...
Yeah, forget everything else. And which of Bloodstone's magical features would you most like to possess? increased strength, protection from monsters, or lifespan longevity.
Ooh, lifespan.
Okay.
That's good.
You are Jack Russell.
Woof.
You're Jack, the one and only werewolf by night. You've got a real knack for deception and trickery, but you only ever use it for the greater good. You have a huge heart and one of the biggest hero complexes out there.
Awoo.
Awoo.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Was this fun?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. Special.
It was
Special.
special. It was special.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're I think anything else to add, or we're wrapping up.
Let's wrap up this special.
Let's wrap up the special.
Roll credits.
Well, so that is our show. Hang out with us because we're going to return to our regular scheduled programming on Monday.
Halloween.
Ooh, which is tomorrow.
True.
So check it out then because we're going to be talking about scary stuff. Hey, is Werewolf by Night going to make this list? It's pretty scary.
It is pretty scary.
Yeah, we'll see.
It might be, yeah.
We'll see. All right. So join us then. So I'm Krysta.
And I'm Brandon.
And until the next adventure, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Thanks for listening to Disney, eh?